Hey folks, it's Finn, and today we're going to have a bit of a catch-up about this fella, my bullet journal. I love my bullet journal. I don't know how I've lived this long without it. I really don't. I've been doing it since January now, and I just get more and more in love with the thing every day. I am hugely into journaling. I have journaled for years and I love my lists and I love to be organised. So if you like journaling, lists and organisation, this is for you. Now, I explained all the basic elements of bullet journaling in the vlog I did in January, which I'll link here, and I'll also put a link at the bottom to more details as well. So I don't want to go too much in depth as to how it works, more how I am working it, what I found that works for me, because there are loads of different layouts that you can use in a bullet journal depending on what you need. Now, of course, there's the basics, the bulleted to-do list on a daily basis. There's the future log, which is basically a posh name for the year calendar that goes in there as well. The monthly planner, some people do a weekly planner, and of course a daily planner is the staple thing. And that daily planner, it can be as little as just having the things you need to do that day, and you can add all sorts of other things in it as well. It's something that can evolve with you, and I've found actually this year, since starting to use it, that I've evolved in the way that I use it. The way I mainly use it is for my mental health and my recovery. I found it's really, really good for those things. That's the original reason I started journaling anyway. Well, originally I've always journaled in writing down stuff that happened in my daily life and what have you. Then as time's gone on, I've used it as a place to reflect, a place to put down all my thoughts. And then since being in Alcoholics Anonymous in the last 6 years, I've used it as a place to kind of plan my day and reflect on my day. So it is a very spiritual thing for me, my bullet journal. Spiritual, emotional, mental well-being is what my journaling is all about. I've approached my bullet journal in that as well, but obviously the bonus of it is I can also add other things to it. I've added things like books I want to read, vlogs I want to do, all of the above. So in the very beginning, I started off with a month planner, and it was very, very basic. It was just like this, where you have like a basic list of what's happening that month and a list of to-dos that you'd like to get done in that month. My first daily plans were incredibly hectic. There was probably just too much in them. Very colourful, as you can see, and I'm trying, as well as doing the basic daily to-do list, I've added stuff like my water intake, vlog ideas, all sorts. Way too much, which is not what the bullet journal is supposed to be about. So I tried to do a weekly planner, thinking that then that would balance things out a little bit. So here's my first weekly planner, and as you can see, I've then got the water intake for the whole week rather than just that day. There's a to-do list for a whole week, which will then get put into every single day depending on what I need to do. That did help to break stuff down, but it was still too much, really. It was just annoying to have to do a weekly plan. It was just not for me. I couldn't be bothered to sit and just draw it all out, and I was getting a bit too OCD about that. So after messing about with different layouts, I finally arrived at this. So now this is my staple monthly plan. Much easier to read, as you can see, because I've got a nice breakdown of the month, and it's broken down into morning, afternoon and evening, so I know what's going on. Still have the task list here for the whole month, so I can add things and then I can transfer it to my daily planning. I've also got blogs for the month, so that really helps me to organise things. But this thing, the habit tracker, is what I love so much. As you can see, it hasn't been fantastic this month. I don't track too many things because I don't want to be too overwhelmed, so it's basic things like meditation, exercise, reading, study, and so forth. And the habit tracker is great because, like I've just said, there is loads of gaps at the moment. You can see my mental health is quite up and down at the moment. So I've been sticking to studying, as you can see, but not much else. So this allows me to actually see how balanced I've been. If I'm just studying on a daily basis and I'm not doing things like taking some gentle exercise, getting to bed before 11, meditating, all of those things, I'm not very balanced. So I'm finding this a wonderful way to keep organised and also keep an eye on my mental health and whether I'm balancing things. My daily planner is also very much more basic now as well. On a daily basis, I have the tasks for the day. I also do a food for the day because I'm currently having some issues with food. In line with my AA program, I do kind of like a balanced view of the day, things I've done well, things I'd like to have done better. And I do actually do a little bit of writing on just general thoughts and reflections on the day. Now in the beginning, I coloured it all in. It does look pretty, But you don't have to do that. If I'm basically sat in a coffee shop and I'm just fiddling, then I colour it in. But most of the time it's just black and white and it's done like that. I also keep a track of my moods here. This method works for me, so I have my tasks on a daily basis, my food plan for the day ahead. At the end of the day, I reflect on how things have been, how my mental health has been, how I've reacted to things I'm really pleased I did, things I'd like to do better the next day. You know, it really, really works for me like that. And this way for me, between doing the daily planner and the monthly planner, I can really keep an eye on how I'm doing emotionally, as well as balancing my life as well. So this is wonderful how both my journal and my organisation has come into one place. There are loads of other little additions you can add as well, and I found a few staple ones that work for me. I love doing a gratitude list. If I'm feeling really, really low, if I start writing down things I'm grateful for, it lifts my mood. So now I do one of these a month, and then throughout the month, things that happen will get put in my bullet journal. So here's January's gratitude list, February's gratitude list, March. And as you can see, you don't have to be talented, you don't have to be creative to do this thing. It's just how you want to decorate it. The fact that you can just add pages to it, here, there and everywhere. As I say, it's such a simple concept. You have the index here, so whenever you add something, you just write it in here. So I've got a page of books I want to read, and then I colour them in when I've read them. A specific area for vlog notes and blog notes. I've started doing a page for NutriBlast recipes. Movies I want to see. And as you can see, there is no end to the way you can use this. There is so many different layouts and ideas of people. There's huge blogs and vlogs dedicated to different bullet journal outlines. So if you search for that, you'll find all these different ideas and you can incorporate them into your own. So you can have a very basic bullet journal that's just about organisation, or you can use it as a tool like I do, where I do organise my life, but a big part of my bullet journaling is keeping an eye on my own mental health and making sure I'm being very balanced in the way I'm approaching my daily life and reflecting on each day in a journal. But rather than my old journal where I felt obligated to kind of have to write down lots, here I can just write down little bullet points on things that have happened throughout the day, and if I want to expand on them I can, and I can easily link it to another page using the index. It's just fantastic, and it means now that anything I write down is in here and I haven't got to go looking for it. You know, anytime I have a thought, I can make my own page for it and it's there. Absolutely 100% sold on this incredibly simple concept. So that was a very flyby look as to how I use my bullet journal and how I'm finding it, loving it, as you can see. They can be as simple or as complicated as you want them to be. They can be pretty or not pretty, it really doesn't matter. It's a concept that anyone can use for anything, and I love it. So if there's anything you want to know, anything I didn't answer, do drop me a message and I can do another vlog on that if you wish. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Have a lovely weekend and I'll see you next week.